I'm gonna dish out a whole lot of pain. I'm gonna put this fucking hurt locker for sure.
I was thinking about running over and breaking his face in. You know, because I thought, look at the cheek of this man. He's nobody. He's a YouTuber.
Turn around.
Tyson Fury can't hide his amusement seeing Jake Paul finally face consequences for his actions. The whole Paul family looks like a mess while Jake's attempt to run from the truth fails spectacularly. Fury's laughter says it all. This wannabe boxer thought he could escape responsibility but got caught red-handed at the airport. It's the ultimate karma moment showing Jake Paul is far from the real deal and just a YouTuber playing at a fight game.
I'm gonna dish out a whole lot of pain. I'm gonna put this fucking hurt locker for sure.
Tyson, there seems to be an edge about you this week. What's happened? There seems to be an extra menace about you.
I got nothing to say, apart from there's gonna be a whole lot of hurt and pain in this fight, you watch. That's all I got to say. Talking's been done. You know, the first fight, I talked, I joked, all my career. This time I'm serious. I'm gonna do some damage here on Saturday night. Watch me go to work on this.
Thank you, Tyson. Let's get an opening word from the defending champ.
John Fury, father of Tyson Fury and legendary boxing figure, holds nothing back tearing into Jake Paul after his pathetic attempt to flee the country. He exposes Jake as a weak YouTuber pretending to be a fighter. Running from responsibility at the airport proves he is out of his depth. Fury's words make it clear the world sees Jake Paul for what he really is, a joke trying to play in the big leagues.
Nobody. He's a YouTuber. You know the only thing stopping me from getting over them ropes? A 25-year prison sentence. Because I'd pull body parts of him.
Frank Smith is pointing out how rare it is for someone to be in such a position, and in this case it's Jake Paul. His reckless behavior led directly to Anthony Joshua's accident, and now the consequences have caught up with him. The world is seeing Jake Paul's true colors as he tried to escape responsibility. Most people would never survive such chaos, and now Paul's arrogance has landed him in serious trouble at the airport. This is karma hitting hard.
I could never do what he did. Yeah. Most people in the world could never do what he did. But he's got himself into.
Duke McKenzie does not hold back in exposing Jake Paul's fake boxing image. Paul's reckless actions caused Anthony Joshua's accident and endangered lives, showing he has zero respect for the sport or safety. McKenzie highlights that Paul was completely out of his depth, and his attempt to flee the country just proves he cannot handle real consequences. Fans are seeing a failed influencer masquerading as a fighter, and this arrest confirms Paul is more dangerous than talented.
As AJ said, and everybody knows, he's not a real boxer. There's levels to this game, and he was way out of his level.
Eddie Hearn is analyzing Jake Paul's premeditated recklessness that caused Anthony Joshua's accident. Paul's attempt to escape accountability at the airport shows his true nature. Hearn emphasizes the danger of Paul's decisions, and how easily he could have caused even more harm. The boxing world sees Paul as a liability rather than a competitor, and this clip underlines how serious the consequences are when arrogance and recklessness collide. Paul's arrest is the inevitable result of his own miscalculations.
What was it, about an hour ago, so I guess everything's calmed down a little bit. I thought it was a bitch move, if I'm honest, because anytime an attack like that is like premeditated.
Joe Rogan is questioning the severity of Anthony Joshua's condition after the accident caused by Jake Paul. He raises concern for Joshua's health, emphasizing the risk Paul created. Rogan also underlines the absurdity of Paul trying to flee after causing a life-threatening incident. Fans are reminded that Jake Paul's antics have real-world consequences, and surviving such an accident is no small miracle. The focus is on accountability, and Paul's arrest at the airport makes it clear the world will not let him escape justice.
And who knows what happened to him when he survived, right? Like, did he hit his head? Did he hit his neck? Like, what is he okay? Like, is he 100%? Or is he always going to be a little fuck from that?
John Fury, Tyson Fury's father, is holding back his anger while praising Anthony Joshua for surviving Jake Paul's reckless actions. Fury's words reflect the outrage and frustration the boxing community feels toward Paul, who caused the accident and tried to run from consequences. Joshua's survival is miraculous, highlighting Paul's irresponsibility. Fury's comments show both concern for Joshua and contempt for Paul, underlining that the YouTuber's stunt at the airport is nothing but a pathetic attempt to escape accountability. fans are seeing justice unfold.
To really be there for them and the family, anything they need. You know, sometimes when someone is a star, they have a lot of things in their life taken care of for them. So you really have to move into that mode in this situation as well. Make sure obviously they're getting the best medical attention, make sure their family are safe and happy and as happy.
Johnny Nelson is reflecting on the gravity of Anthony Joshua's accident caused by Jake Paul. He stresses that boxing rivalries and social media drama pale in comparison to human life. The tragedy emphasizes Paul's recklessness and the irreparable consequences of his actions. Nelson reminds viewers of the real people affected, including Joshua's friends who tragically died, showing Paul's irresponsibility. This is a wake-up call to the boxing world that fame and money cannot excuse endangering lives, and Paul facing arrest is a direct result of his dangerous behavior.
Nigeria, it's just sad. It just makes you realise how valuable life is and how things can change in a heartbeat. So when we talk about fights and we talk about beefs and these things are just nothing when it comes to real life and losing your life. So it was a sad thing to hear, a sad thing to see. God knows how it'll affect those that saw it mentally, emotionally. But you've got to think about these two men who were somebody's child, someone's brother, and that's what you've got to think about, those people that have lost it.
Eddie Hearn, Anthony Joshua's longtime promoter, gives an update that is cautiously optimistic, noting that Joshua does not appear to have suffered major injuries. Hearn's words carry the weight of relief mixed with concern, as the accident was extremely serious. Fans in the boxing community are holding their breath, understanding that even minor injuries for a fighter of Joshua's caliber can have huge implications. The commentary also subtly reminds viewers of the chaos caused indirectly by Jake Paul's actions, showing how one reckless move can endanger multiple lives. Hearn's perspective combines professional insight with personal care, reflecting both the physical and emotional stakes for Joshua as he recovers from this traumatic event.
Hearing that it doesn't look like he has any major injuries is true, and that would be fantastic, and obviously be a very lucky boy if that was the case, but we hope that is the case.
Sonny Faz, known for his outspoken reactions, breaks down the scale of the tragedy while highlighting Anthony Joshua's larger-than-life presence in the public eye. He emphasizes the sequence of shocking events, from the Jake Paul fight to the near-fatal accident, including the loss of Joshua's close friends. The commentary captures the reality of fame and danger colliding, showing how quickly circumstances can shift. Sonny Faz also underlines the fleeting nature of life, particularly for stars constantly in the public eye, reminding fans that Joshua's recovery is not just physical but deeply emotional. This commentary paints a vivid picture of survival, loss, and the immense pressure surrounding Joshua at this moment.
Is 2 weeks ago, this guy's in front of the whole world. Netflix, millions of dollars, breaks Jake Paul's jaw in 2 places. Decides to go back to Nigeria, almost dies. 2 of his closest friends pass away in the accident. You never know what they...
Jarrell Miller, a fellow fighter and commentator, reflects on the emotional toll this accident has on Anthony Joshua and those around him. Even though he and Joshua may not be close, he empathizes deeply with the situation, illustrating the mental and emotional strain caused by witnessing such traumatic events online and in real life. Miller's commentary reinforces the human side of the story, showing that Joshua's struggle goes beyond physical injury. It also subtly touches on Jake Paul's indirect involvement, reminding viewers that reckless behavior has consequences. Fans are left with a sense of Joshua's vulnerability, resilience, and the heavy emotional weight he must carry while processing the loss of friends.
You don't know what other people are going through. And even though AJ, we're not on the best terms, man, I feel for this brother, man. Because it could have been my family, could have been my friends. And, I feel like, man, it's mentally, kind of draining looking at this stuff all day on the line. And like I said, I didn't really see nothing too graphic until this morning was now I've seen a lot of crazy stuff in my life, man. I've seen dead bodies before and all that. Man, I don't even know how to even express.
Eddie Hearn emphasizes the responsibility that comes with being close to Anthony Joshua during this tragic period. His commentary underlines the importance of care, attention, and prioritizing the well-being of both Joshua and the families affected by the accident. Hearn highlights the stark contrast between the safety net a superstar enjoys and the vulnerability exposed in such crises. The remarks remind viewers that fame cannot shield Joshua from the real dangers of life, including the loss of close friends. Hearn's insight also implicitly critiques those whose reckless actions, like Jake Paul's, contribute to this chaos. It reinforces the immense emotional and logistical support required during Joshua's recovery.
It's a case of dealing with the inquiries and the media, and you can imagine how many people are trying to find out.
Gareth A. Davies, boxing analyst, reflects on the broader context of the Jake Paul fight and its fallout. He points out that opinions on the fight were mixed, and while critical of its risks for Jake Paul, the resulting injuries and chaos also impacted Anthony Joshua indirectly. Davies emphasizes Joshua's professionalism and class throughout these events, highlighting his ability to handle public scrutiny and personal danger with dignity. The commentary underscores how the reckless nature of Jake Paul's actions led to unnecessary risk, demonstrating the real-world consequences behind sensationalized social media narratives. Fans gain insight into Joshua's composure and the mental resilience required in such turbulent times.
I think some very interesting and germane points you make there in this moment, Raheem. That I think what I've noticed, that obviously there were a kind of panoply of opinions about him fighting Jake Paul, to take it back a week and a half. I mean, I was critical of that fight being signed, first of all, because I worried about the dangers for Jake Paul. He got his jaw broken at the end of the day, and kind of used the scars as a flag in his new moon, delusionally optimistic, in his words, as he is about these things. So Anthony Joshua went to America a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, played the role which he needed to play, was very classy.
Joe Rogan, the renowned commentator and analyst, provides a perspective that instantly grabs attention, highlighting the sheer unpredictability of the accident. His remark about the seat belt might sound counterintuitive, but it underscores the extreme forces involved and how sometimes safety measures can intersect with luck in unexpected ways. For Anthony Joshua, this was a brush with potentially life-altering consequences, and Rogan's words put into perspective just how fortunate Joshua was to survive. The commentary also draws attention to the indirect role of external factors, including reckless individuals like Jake Paul, whose actions have sparked a chain of events that endangered lives. Fans can't help but feel a mixture of relief and disbelief, realizing the fragility of even a superstar athlete's life when confronted with such sudden and violent accidents.
I mean,
That's bonkers. Thank God he didn't have a seatbelt on. I never say that. Thank God he didn't have a fucking seatbelt on, because if he did,
there's no way.
he would be dead.
There's
Probably,
no way.
or fucking...
Liam Goff, a respected journalist, delivers the sobering reality of the accident with clarity and empathy. He quickly acknowledges the human cost, focusing not only on Anthony Joshua's injuries but also the tragic deaths of his friends, reminding viewers that the consequences extend far beyond Joshua himself. The commentary emphasizes both the emotional and physical impact of the incident, highlighting how fame and fortune cannot shield anyone from tragedy. It implicitly touches on the recklessness surrounding the events, linking back to the chaos caused by Jake Paul. Goff's words resonate because they blend factual reporting with heartfelt condolence, drawing attention to the gravity of the situation and prompting fans to reflect on the fragility of life, even for someone as powerful and celebrated as Anthony Joshua.
Anthony Joshua injured in car accident. 2 people who I believe were with Anthony Joshua were friends of his have tragically passed away. Before I carry on reading the article, the 2 people who have tragically passed, my condolences is all I can say to their friends and families. We'll definitely offer up some prayers for
Alexander Usyk, Anthony Joshua's formidable rival and teammate in the heavyweight division, expresses profound sorrow and support, emphasizing the personal losses Joshua suffered alongside the public attention. Usyk's commentary highlights the close bonds within a fighter's team, showing that accidents like this reverberate emotionally and professionally, affecting the entire support network. By expressing condolences and wishing Joshua recovery, Usyk reinforces the respect and camaraderie in the sport, contrasting sharply with the reckless behavior of people like Jake Paul who put others at risk. This moment reminds fans that behind the fights and media drama, athletes are human beings facing grief and trauma. Usyk's words offer both empathy and inspiration, painting Joshua not just as a survivor, but as a champion who must navigate immense personal loss with courage and resilience.
Alexander Usyk said, "This is an unbelievable loss. Sinner and Latif are two incredible people who were not only part of AJ's team, but also friends. My sincere condolences to their families, loved ones, and everyone who knew them. Anthony Joshua, wishing you a speedy recovery. Stay strong, champ."
Showbiz the Adult provides a more grounded and cautious account of the accident, focusing on the mechanics of the crash itself. By clarifying the stationary nature of the truck, the commentary helps viewers understand the unpredictability and severity of the collision. It implicitly points to how external forces and reckless decisions, including Jake Paul's indirect involvement, can escalate dangerous situations. The commentary also underscores that even for a superstar like Anthony Joshua, survival can hinge on minute details and sheer luck. Fans are given a clear, factual anchor amidst the chaos and speculation, which helps contextualize Joshua's injuries and recovery while highlighting the seriousness of the crash and the losses incurred.
Sure if there was someone in the stationary truck. I'm not sure about that, so I'm not going to report on that, but the truck was stationary. And Anthony Joshua's SUV struck the stationary.
The aftermath of Anthony Joshua's accident and the shocking chain of events involving Jake Paul has left the boxing world in stunned disbelief, highlighting just how fragile life can be even for the strongest athletes. From the tragic loss of Joshua's close friends to the near-fatal injuries he sustained, every detail underscores the gravity of what happened and the recklessness surrounding it. Seeing figures like Joe Rogan, Liam Goff, and Alexander Usyk weigh in with concern and empathy shows the deep respect Joshua commands across the sport and the genuine fear for his well-being. Meanwhile, Jake Paul's failed attempt to escape accountability only cements his role in the chaos, drawing universal criticism from fans and professionals alike. Anthony Joshua's survival and resilience in the face of this traumatic experience is a testament to his strength, both physical and mental, and serves as a reminder of the human side of boxing that often gets overshadowed by spectacle. As fans, we must reflect on the dangers of recklessness and the importance of holding people like Jake Paul accountable. Do you agree that Anthony Joshua deserves every ounce of support right now? Share your thoughts below and join the conversation about his comeback, recovery, and the lessons the sport must learn from this shocking ordeal.